Madhav, content-led growth is also another concept that has come in recent times, right? And I'm as far as I know, you are also a believer in that, right? And it's not it's a fact. I think content-led growth is pretty strong, and if you can create a solid foundation, you can go a long way, and it's probably the most sustainable way to grow, right? Can you talk about, with respect to, let's say, early stage companies or mid-size or enterprises, is there a difference? Do enterprise products, or large companies that are serving enterprise accounts, is there a difference in how the content led strategy looks like? Or, and very honestly, what I want to ask is this a really crucial tool that early stage companies are probably missing out on? Because content led growth is does not really resonate with the high budgets or high expenses, right? uh, what are your thoughts on it?
Yes, I strongly believe. I think content, like, I mean, I generally believe that content is marketing in today's world. I don't think
Absolutely.
these are two different things, right?
Absolutely.
Uh, if you see today, like from an enterprise perspective, let's talk
Yeah.
about that, right?
Yeah.
Salespeople use content to sell products, right? You might
Yeah.
have a customer which comes in saying that, like I'll give you an example. At Storylane, we might have a customer that comes in saying that, oh, do you have a use case of putting interactive demos in blog posts, right?
Hmm.
And at that time, it would be amazing for the salesperson to have kind of like a report, an internal data report that actually proves that yes, it does have an impact in terms of page engagement and bounce rate
Right.
and conversions, right?
Right.
And that can tip the favor, tilt the favor in your favor, right? And there's a lot of other examples, like you see prospects asking for these all of the times, like, do you have any example of, how you've kind of helped a similar company like ours, right? And that's why the case studies come in, right? And like all of those things come in, that's also content, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's more like 5 to 10 years ago, right? It probably made sense at that time for PLG companies to focus on content because it was mainly focused on that. Okay, let's create content, let's get conversions. We don't have a budget to hire a sales team, so it
Yeah.
makes kind of sense for us, right? But the world has also evolved. I think what we
Yeah.
talked about earlier, right? Buyers today are doing a lot of research on their own. They
Yeah.
are trying to draw conclusions on their own,
Yeah.
on which to buy or not, right? And instead of you kind of putting your fate on some other blogger or some other company's blog, you should take it in your hands, right?
Yeah.
You should to like get that visitor in and help kind of guide the narrative around your product, right? So
Right.
I feel like it's across everywhere. G2 reviews are also content, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Videos are also content. Like LinkedIn is also content. Like all
Yeah.
of this is content, right? And I think content isn't just blogs, content
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
just so much, right? So, and then I think to your second question, like, does it evolve, depending on like what kind of an audience you sell to, right? So I generally feel when you think about more enterprise products, right,
Yeah.
it's becoming a lot more about, how you can kind of create content for
Hmm.
multiple
Segments.
personas, right? Like for example, there are a lot of buyers in the cycle. You have to convince a lot of
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
right? So you have to also kind of address all of those separately in your content, right? Then the
Right.
other thing is that for enterprise, you need to create a lot of noise, like
Yeah.
because like these kind of decisions, it becomes a lot easier if out of the 9 buyers, 9 people in the decision cycle, if one person is passionately saying that, oh, I've these guys are amazing and all of that, right?
Yeah.
It the deal much faster, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of it kind of goes around that. Like, how can we kind of reach a very wide audience repeatedly, and just give great content out
Yeah.
there that actually accelerates the buying cycles, right?
Right.
And then if you're coming to
True.
more small and medium businesses, right, like you can then start using content to perhaps guide them into like particular issues that they're facing, right? Like for example, if you're an SEO tool, right, your focus could be how can you enable a scrappy SEO team in a startup to actually mature as like a very educated organization,
Right.
an SEO team, right? And in that journey, you can kind of pitch yourself easily, right?
Understood.
I really feel with small and medium mid market, or I'd say mainly small, like a lot of like demand capture, a lot of I'd say like things like just conversations around how people do their role differently, right? Like if you
Yeah.
target heads of sales, get on a conversation with them, ask them how they do their job, how they
Yeah.
handle situations, and then kind of address that, right? So
Right.
these are just different ways, but yeah, I mean, I think it's for everybody.